All right, let's jump right in. I want you to think about your company's technology for a second. Is it this beautiful, well-planned city where everything just flows, letting you move fast and innovate whenever you want? Or is it more of a chaotic sprawl? Full of bottlenecks, dead ends, and constant traffic jams that just slow everything down. The reality is, every business today is a digital city, and its success really depends on the quality of its blueprint. So, I'm going to ask you point blank, which one is yours? Is it a carefully planned metropolis built for growth? Or is it kind of an accidental mess that just gets harder to manage with each passing day? Now, this isn't just some techie question. This is the central question of IT architecture. Why? Because the answer determines how quickly you can get new products out the door, how well you can actually serve your customers, and frankly, how safe you are in a world that's just full of threats. Every great city starts with a blueprint. And in our world, in the digital world, that blueprint is what we call IT architecture. It's the master plan. It dictates how every single piece, from your cloud servers all the way to your customer-facing apps, gets built, gets connected, and is governed. Without it, you're not really building a city. You're just kind of piling up bricks and hoping for the best. A good blueprint is always built in layers, just like a city is organized into different districts, right? And for our digital city, you've got these 4 foundational layers that you absolutely have to get right: infrastructure, application, data, and, of course, security. So let's break down what each of these really means for your business. Okay, first up, infrastructure. This is the bedrock of your city. Think of it as the roads, the power grid, the plumbing, all the essential stuff that everything else depends on. In business, we're talking about your data centers, your cloud environments, your networks. And if this stuff is fragile, your entire city grinds to a halt. Your website crashes on Black Friday, your teams can't get to the tools they need. It's the foundation. And if it cracks, well, everything built on top of it is in serious trouble. Next, we've got application architecture. So if infrastructure is the roads, then applications are the buildings. These are the factories, the offices, the storefronts where the business actually gets done. An application could be a giant old-school mainframe system that runs your finances, or it might be a bunch of slick little microservices that power your mobile app. And you know what a poorly designed application is like, right? It's like a building with a totally confusing floor plan and no elevators. It just frustrates everyone and makes simple things feel impossible. And this image here? It's a perfect lead-in to our third layer, data architecture. I mean, data is the lifeblood of any modern digital city. It's the currency, it's the intelligence, the collective memory of the whole operation. This layer is all about how that information flows, where it gets stored, and who gets to see it. If you get this wrong, you end up making huge business decisions based on, well, garbage. Or even worse, you're leaving the door wide open for someone to walk out with your most sensitive customer data. Finally, and you could argue this is the most important one, there's security architecture. Now, this isn't just about building a wall around the city. A modern digital city is way too complex for that. Security has to be this comprehensive system that's woven through every single district. It's your police force, your emergency services, your secure ID cards. And it's about protecting more than just data. It's about protecting customer trust and your company's reputation. And believe me, once you lose those, they are incredibly hard to get back. So we've got our 4 layers. But a great city isn't just a random pile of roads and buildings and security guards. It's all about having the right structures in the right places, all working together to serve the city's greater purpose. And this is where the master plan becomes absolutely critical. In city planning, you've got zoning laws, right? You don't build a factory next to a school. In business, we call this same idea strategic alignment. What it really means is making sure that every single piece of tech you buy, every dollar you spend, directly supports a specific business goal. If you don't have that alignment, you end up with these expensive, powerful tools that nobody uses, while other critical parts of the business are just starving for the tech they need to compete. So how do we actually do that? How do we get that alignment? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there is something called capability mapping. It's basically a master plan that draws a straight line from a business capability, like, say, process customer payments, to every single piece of tech that makes that happen. The key takeaway here is this. Capability mapping makes sure every dollar you spend on technology is a direct investment in pushing the business forward. Period. Of course, no city gets built from scratch, right? So every single business leader, just like a city planner, faces this really tough question. Do we renovate the old historic districts that have served us well for decades, or do we tear them down to build shiny new skyscrapers? This is that classic high-stakes debate between maintaining legacy systems and jumping into modern cloud-native architecture. And this choice is right at the heart of so many big IT decisions. On one side, you have your legacy stuff, the old, reliable parts of your city. They're stable, they're predictable, sure, but they're also super rigid and slow to change. On the other side, you've got cloud-native architecture, these futuristic skyscrapers designed for pure speed, agility, and massive scale. This isn't just a technical decision. It's a strategic one that pits the reliable engine that got you here against the innovative rocket ship you're going to need for the future. And this chart, it just breaks down those trade-offs beautifully. Think about the money. Legacy systems, that's a huge upfront cost, a capital expense. You buy the hardware, you own it. Cloud native, that's more like a subscription, an operational expense. You pay as you go, which gives you incredible flexibility. And what about speed? Legacy is all about stability. Cloud native is built for rapid innovation. And security? Oh man, they're worlds apart. Legacy is that old castle wall approach. Cloud native assumes threats can come from anywhere, so security is embedded and adaptive from the inside out. Speaking of security, let's zoom in on that for a minute. Because as our digital cities get more and more connected, with data flying in and out all the time, that whole castle and moat way of thinking, it's done. It's obsolete. A single breach gets past the wall, and suddenly an attacker is free to roam your entire city. We need a much smarter way to protect ourselves. And that brings us to the philosophy of zero trust. The principle is so simple, but it's totally revolutionary. Never trust, always verify. In a zero-trust city, there's no such thing as a trusted inside network. I don't care if you're a citizen or a stranger, inside the walls or out, every single user, every single device has to prove who they are every single time they try to access anything. It's like having a bouncer at every door in the city, checking your ID every time. No exceptions. And this is super important. Zero trust isn't some product you can just go out and buy. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about security. It's a whole strategy built on pillars like continuously checking user identities, giving people access to only what they absolutely need to do their job, and basically assuming that your network has already been breached. That forces you to build defenses that can stop threats immediately. And this image here, it shows that evolution just perfectly. We started by building these big, simple walls between physical networks. Then we created logical zones. But today, the absolute gold standard is micro-segmentation. This is where we can create a tiny, secure perimeter around every single application. Think about the difference. It's like having one security guard at the main city gate versus having a dedicated biometric scanner on every single door of every single room in every single building. That's the level of control we're talking about. It's a game changer. Okay, so we've looked at the blueprints, the building materials, the security systems. What does it all boil down to? It all comes back to a single point. Whether you're a CEO setting the strategy, a product manager designing features, or a developer writing code, you, whether you know it or not, are a digital architect. Every day, you're making decisions that shape your company's digital city. And I want to leave you with this quote from our source material because it just hits the nail on the head. A cohesive and well-governed architecture is not merely a technical achievement, it is a strategic asset that underpins competitive advantage. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't about making the IT department happy or having clean diagrams. This is about building the engine that allows your business to win. So that really brings us to the final, most important question you've got to ask yourself. When you look at your own digital city, is the architecture you're building enabling a dynamic, resilient, and thriving future? Or is it slowly becoming a beautiful but crumbling monument to the past? The choice and the responsibility is yours.